If you think superheroes only exist in Marvel movies, think again. Nature has its own secret league of X-Men creatures with powers so outrageous, so beyond logic, they put our best sci-fi stories to shame. No capes? Every animal you're about to see is 100% real and scientifically documented. But here is the wild part: most of these creatures are hiding in plain sight. Under our oceans, deep in forests, even crawling beneath our feet. So get ready to feel a little more humble, because after this, you'll realize we humans may not be nature's final masterpiece. No radioactive spiders. Just raw evolution crafting beings that defy death, punch like boxers, and manipulate reality in ways we barely understand. This isn't a believe it or not sideshow. Let's begin with one of the smallest, yet most indestructible beings ever discovered. If that gummy bear could survive nuclear war, outer space, and boiling lava, #10, the tardigrade found in moss, lichen, and the bottom of lakes. This tiny beast can survive almost anything you throw at it. Looks like a microscopic gummy bear. Meet the tardigrade, near microscopic, 8-legged creature that might just be the toughest life form on Earth. They floated out there, protected, like tiny astronauts with no suits. Most of them survived, and when they got back to Earth, some even laid eggs. That's right, space babies. In this state, they can sit dormant for decades, waiting for the right conditions to reboot. This allows them to survive radiation, dehydration, even cellular decay. That means Earth is quietly crawling with billions of these. Near immortal microbeast sand. You probably stepped on one today without realizing it. If humans could replicate this protein, it might unlock new frontiers in medicine, organ preservation, or even space travel. Add a little water, and boom, they're back to life like nothing happened. How extreme are we talking? Temperatures near absolute zero, so when a mantis shrimp strikes, it delivers 2 hits. One physical, one from the imploding shockwave. In the ocean world, that's basically a 1-to-2 combo of a punch and a miniature sonic boom. While humans have 3 types of color receptors, the mantis shrimp has 16. It can detect ultraviolet, polarized light, and other wavelengths that we don't even have words for. Boiling heat up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So if yours escapes, don't be surprised if it opens its own MMA school. These aren't just claws. They're biological hammers capable of striking at 50 miles per hour in milliseconds, delivering forces equal to a .22 caliber bullet. One punch from this thing can crack crab shells, shatter aquarium glass, and boil water literally. Scientists believe this hypervision helps them detect prey hidden in coral, recognize mates, or avoid predators camouflaged from ordinary eyes. Crushing pressures 6 times greater than the deepest ocean trenches. Radiation levels thousands of times higher than what would kill a human. Even the vacuum of space in 2007, scientists launched a few tardigrades into space, exposing them to cosmic rays in zero atmosphere. Yes, we may owe our future tech to a violent rainbow shrimp. How do they do it? Tardigrades enter a death-like state called cryptobiosis. They retract their legs, dry out completely, and shut down all biological functions, heart rate, metabolism, everything. Researchers discovered that tardigrades produce a unique protein that shields their DNA from damage like internal body armor. Here's the kicker. Tardigrades aren't rare. You could literally find one right now in a clump of moss in your backyard. Number 9, the mantis shrimp. It looks like a technicolor lobster. It lives in shallow tropical reefs. And it might just be the most overpowered animal in the ocean. Introducing the mantis shrimp, a marine crustacean with 2 built-in wrecking balls for arms. Wait, boil water? Yep. Its punches are so fast they cause cavitation, creating a bubble that collapses with explosive force and heat. But it doesn't stop there. The mantis shrimp's eyes are perhaps its most mind-blowing feature. This means it likely sees the world in a kaleidoscope of colors so rich and alien, we can't even imagine it. Here, it's a weird twist. Some researchers are studying mantis shrimp eyes to create next-generation cameras and sensors, especially for detecting cancer or underwater mines. Also, fun fact, if you keep a mantis shrimp in an aquarium, be warned they've been known to punch through the glass. Number 8, the glass frog. Imagine looking at a frog, seeing its beating heart, organs, and bones through its belly. That's not an X-ray, it's real life. What makes it special? Its transparent underside. From above, it looks like any ordinary frog. But from below, it's a clear window into its own anatomy: lungs, liver, even its little red heart pulsing away in full view. Meet the glass frog, a tiny neon green amphibian found in the rainforests of Central and South America. Why would evolution create a see-through frog? The liver releases the blood cells back into circulation like nothing ever happened. That's right, this frog can temporarily vanish its own blood to hide better. When predators like birds or snakes are hunting from above, the glass frog blends into leaves almost perfectly. Its transparent belly allows background colors and light to pass through, breaking up its silhouette and making it harder to detect. Turns out, this partial invisibility is a clever form of camouflage. If we could replicate the glass frog's method of blood storage and release, it might lead to breakthroughs in blood clotting disorders or trauma care. But that's where it gets even weirder. Scientists discovered that glass frogs can become even more transparent while sleeping. At rest, they hide red blood cells from their skin into their liver, which expands like a balloon to store them. This makes them even harder to see. And when they wake up, medical researchers are fascinated by this trick. The roach just sits there, alive, paralyzed, and completely unaware. So the next time someone says invisibility is just science fiction, tell them to look under a leaf in Costa Rica. The larva burrows into the roach's body, eats it from the inside out, and eventually emerges as a full-grown wasp. But the venom doesn't kill the roach. Instead, it chemically reprograms it, suppressing its escape reflex and turning it into a docile puppet. As terrifying as it is, this insect may hold the key to some of the most advanced neuroscience breakthroughs of the century. Scientists are blown away by how precisely the venom disables motor function without killing the host. Number 7. The zombie parasite wasp. Now we're entering territories so disturbing. Sounds like it came from a horror movie. The emerald cockroach wasp is a small but terrifying insect with a very specific goal: turn cockroaches into zombies, and then use their bodies to raise its young. Here's how it works. Step 1. The wasp finds a cockroach and stings it twice, once to paralyze its front legs, and a second time to inject venom directly into its brain. Step 2. The wasp bites off the roach's antennae, just to make it easier to lead. Step 3. Then, like walking a dog, the wasp grabs the roach's remaining antenna stump and leads it, yes, literally drags it into a burrow. Step 4. Once inside, the wasp lays an egg on the roach's abdomen, then seals the burrow and leaves. Step 5. Days later, the egg hatches. Let that sink in. This wasp has evolved the ability to target specific neural circuits in its victim's brain, essentially pressing the off button on free will. In fact, research into how this venom works could help us understand brain control, neurochemistry, and even potential treatments for Parkinson's or motor disorders. Just one more reason to be glad you're not a cockroach. Number 6. The bombardier beetle. Ever heard of an insect that can fire chemical explosions from its rear end? No joke. Meet the bombardier beetle, one of nature's most explosive creatures. Found across North America, Africa, and parts of Asia, this beetle might be small, but it's armed like a flamethrower. When threatened, it doesn't run. Instead, it turns its rear toward the predator and unleashes a rapid-fire series of boiling hot chemical blasts. The temperature of the liquid it fires? Up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to scald skin and cause real pain. Inside the beetle's abdomen are 2 chemical chambers, one with hydrogen peroxide and the other with hydroquinone. When danger strikes, the beetle mixes them in a separate chamber along with catalytic enzymes, causing an immediate violent reaction. In some cases, scientists have seen frogs actually spit the beetle out mid-swallow after getting blasted in the throat. And yes, it survives the encounter. Pop a puff of steam, and bam, a jet of boiling, noxious liquid shoots out with force. This has inspired ideas for bio-inspired microreactors in engineering, and even potential advances in controlled drug delivery systems. And this isn't just a spray. It's a series of controlled explosions. Unlike your average fish, this one carries a built-in high-voltage power source. It can generate electric shocks of up to 860 volts, more than enough to stun a horse. And yes, even knock a human unconscious underwater. When activated all at once, they discharge in a synchronized pulse, producing a powerful jolt strong enough to deter predators, paralyze prey, or escape danger. Electric eels have multiple shock settings, kind of like a taser with modes. They can release The beetle can aim with precision in multiple directions, front, back, sideways, like it's playing Call of Duty with a built-in turret. It can fire these blasts up to 500 times per second in rapid pulses. Even more impressive, predators like frogs, ants, and spiders learn real fast not to mess with it. Researchers are fascinated by how the beetle's internal chambers store reactive chemicals safely and mix them only on command. In one experiment, an eel lunged at a simulated predator and zapped it midair like nature's own electric whip. So next time you swat at a bug, you might want to make sure it doesn't fire back. Number 5. The electric eel. Luckily, fatal cases are rare, but the shock is absolutely real and powerful. This one sounds made up, but it's not. Today, researchers are exploring how their electrocytes might inspire new biobatteries, energy sources that could one day power small medical implants or eco-friendly tech. The electric eel is a long, snake-like fish native to the Amazon and Orinoco River basins in South America. How does it work? The eel's body contains thousands of electrocytes, special muscle cells that function like tiny batteries. But that's not all. Low-voltage pulses to track the movement of prey in murky water, short bursts to confuse and paralyze small fish, and a final high-voltage kill shot to finish the job. In 2019, scientists discovered that electric eels can even leap out of the water to deliver shocks directly to attackers above the surface. There have been real-life reports of people being stunned while swimming in eel territory, with some even drowning after losing muscle control. Electric eels have fascinated scientists for centuries. In fact, they inspired some of the earliest battery designs in the 18th and 19th centuries. So yes, nature invented the electric weapon long before we didn't. This river monster uses it like a pro. #4. The octopus. The octopus isn't just smart, it's a full-blown alien genius living in our oceans. Let's break down what makes this creature so extraordinary. First, it has 3 hearts. It's already weird. To pump blood to its gills. One pumps it to the rest of its body. Using specialized pigment cells called chromatophores, they can instantly blend into rocks, coral, sand, imitate other animals. You could be staring straight at one without realizing it's there. It's blood. Blue. Not red because it's based on copper, not iron. It can contort its soft, boneless body into the shape of lionfish, sea snakes, flatfish, jellyfish, and morale to fool predators. That's like having a mind in every limb. But the real magic is shape-shifting and camouflage. No bones means no limits. In aquariums, they've been caught escaping tanks, crawling across the floor, opening lids, and even stealing fish from neighboring tanks before returning home like nothing happened. Octopuses have an insane ability to change both the color and texture of their skin in milliseconds. They might hold the key to future innovations in robotics and prosthetics. Some species like the mimic octopus take it to another level. It can regenerate that too. Cut out part of its heart or brain. It'll grow back in perfect working order. They exhibit a trait called neotin, meaning they retain juvenile features throughout their life and never fully grow up. That means they keep their youthful, regenerative powers indefinitely. Their immune systems are specially tuned to allow rebuilding, not just repair. Labs around the world are studying their genome, hoping to crack the code behind their healing abilities. If we can mimic even a fraction of their biology, we could one day repair spinal injuries, regrow damaged tissue, or even cure degenerative diseases. And their cells can revert to an earlier status, essentially turning back the biological clock to regrow organs and bones. No memory loss, no deformity, got caught, no problem. Octopuses can squeeze through tiny openings as small as a coin, their brain massive compared to body size. Each of their 8 arms has its own mini-brain and can operate independently to solve problems or explore surroundings. And if one arm gets bitten off, no worries, it'll grow back, fully functional. Scientists studying octopuses are uncovering clues about decentralized intelligence, artificial camouflage, soft robotics, and even neural regeneration. But thanks to captive breeding programs, it survives in labs and in the hearts of scientists everywhere. With its frilly external gills and perpetual smile, it looks like a cartoon, but its abilities are straight out of sci-fi. Nature gave the octopus nearly every superpower short of flight, and honestly, it's probably working on that too. Number 3, the axolotl. If Wolverine were an amphibian, this would be him. The axolotl is a bizarre-looking salamander native to the lakes of Mexico, especially Lake Xochimilco. It can regrow entire limbs, arms, legs, tail, and not just once. Over and over again without scarring. Break its spine, even crazier. Axolotls don't age in the traditional sense. What makes them so special? Scientists believe axolotls have unique genetic pathways that prevent scar tissue from forming and instead allow clean regrowth. This makes axolotls a holy grail in the world of regenerative medicine. Sadly, despite its powers, the axolotl is critically endangered in the wild due to pollution and habitat loss. It may be cute, but make no mistake, this smiling salamander is one of the most biologically advanced animals on Earth. Number 2, the immortal jellyfish. Yes, you read that right. There is a creature that may have literally defeated death. It's called Toratopsis dohrnii, more famously known as the immortal jellyfish. Here's how it works. When the jellyfish is injured, stressed, sick, or even old, it doesn't just die. Instead, it undergoes a biological process called transdifferentiation, turning all of its cells into a younger form, literally reverting into a polyp, its earliest life stage. Then it begins life again. It's like a butterfly turning back into a caterpillar and starting over repeatedly. Well, immortal. In theory, this cycle can go on forever. As long as it's not killed by a predator or disease, the immortal jellyfish could be. Scientists are fascinated by how its cells manage to reset themselves without mutation or damage. If we can understand the molecular switches behind this process, it might open doors in anti-aging research, cell regeneration, and cancer treatment. But be warned, it's not as glamorous as it sounds. This jellyfish is tiny, fragile, and doesn't look like much. Immortality in nature, it turns out, is quiet and unnoticed, lurking in the deep sea. Still, it's living proof that aging doesn't have to be inevitable, at least not for everyone. Number 1, the POMPEI worm. And now, meet the animal that thrives where nearly everything else dies. In return for a cozy home, they help insulate the worm's body and may even provide chemical nourishment. The worm, in turn, secretes mucus to feed its bacterial coda symbiotic armor against fire itself. Its front end stays in cooler waters, while its back end endures searing temperatures, creating the steepest thermal gradient any living creature survives. Introducing the Pompeii worm. A deep-sea extremophile that lives on the walls of hydrothermal vent, underwater volcanoes erupting with superheated fluids. How hot are we talking? But it literally lives in hell and walks away smiling. For that, it earns the number 1 spot on our list. Up to 176 degrees Fahrenheit, temperatures that would cook most life forms instantly. Yet the Pompeii worm thrives here, clinging to rocks just inches from boiling water. Builds monsters, miracle healers, lightning throwers, and time benders from the bottom of the sea to your local pond. Its secret? Remarkable partnership with heat-resistant bacteria. These bacteria coat the worm's back like a fuzzy blanket. But wait, there's more. The Pompeii worm survives not just insane heat, but also crushing deep-sea pressures and complete darkness. To adapt, the worm has evolved special heat shock proteins that keep its cells from falling apart at high temperatures, something researchers hope to replicate for industrial enzymes, medical treatments, and even space travel tech. This worm doesn't fly, punch, or regenerate. So what does all this tell us? That evolution is the greatest superpower of all? Doesn't need capes, suits, or gamma rays? If this list blew your mind, imagine how many other creatures are out there waiting to be discovered, quietly breaking the laws of nature right under our noses. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more unbelievable top 10s every single week. And drop us a comment. Which animal on this list deserves its own superhero movie? See you in the next wild countdown, because reality is way stranger than fiction.